Day 5 of the fall bulk. This is back day, and as you can see, I am in a different gym. I'm in my school gym, which has a lot of machines to choose from, especially for back and chest. So I'll try to train those muscles as much as possible here. But like for things such as legs or arms, I'll probably just go back to my usual gym that I always film videos at. But regardless, this is back day, and you'll notice that the first exercise, contrary to the norm, is not a lat pull down. Well, it's kind of a lat pull down, but it's not like the typical lat pull down. It's a pull down machine, and it's unilateral as well. And you can see here that both of these sides diverge. So when you're doing chest press, you want it to converge to get the squeeze. When you're doing back, you want it to diverge, so go away from each other, as you can see it's doing here. So it's not just like a linear movement pattern like the lat pull down, but when you have something that kind of diverges, it just gets a much crazier squeeze, and I definitely felt that here. The pump was a lot better on this exercise than it was on the lat pull down for the longest time. So I'm definitely thankful to have been able to use this machine and to do 4 hefty sets on it, all to failure, some of them beyond failure using drop sets and other methods. Excellent machine. You'll also notice that the way I'm training is different, at least to what I would usually do in the past. More slow eccentrics here. Now, it's not like Dr. Mike Israetel's slow eccentric, but it's still slow for me. You can clearly see that there's a lot of control on the weight. My main emphasis is the stretch at the top. As you can see, I let my shoulders kind of elevate, and then as I depress my shoulders, I get the squeeze at the bottom as much as I possibly can. Really emphasize the mid to lower lats, and obviously the upper lats just get their own trigger no matter what. Like, they always seem to get the most of the contraction for me, which is obviously a good thing, depending on how you look at it. Now, that was 3 sets actually on that machine. I thought I did 4, but I guess I only did 3. Nevertheless, an excellent machine. And since this is a new gym, I want to try all the machines. So I'm not just going to go do like a cable row. I'm going to try out this unilateral row machine. And let me tell you, this might have been my favorite machine of the entire workout. Probably my favorite back machine ever, because the squeeze I got on this exercise was absolutely unmatched. There is no other machine that made me feel this way. It's probably the reason that I can still feel my back today. It is excellent. I love this machine. I did 3 sets here as well. You can see that the most important thing I'm doing here, well, there's a lot of important things, but I'm controlling the eccentric for 1. And I'm pulling with my elbow. I'm also letting my shoulder really stretch out to get the full stretch on the lat, and then obviously the full squeeze at the end of the movement. Get the 2 most important parts of the exercise, as I mentioned for other training videos. Really important that you get the stretch and the squeeze, especially for back. You can build a big back moving heavy weight. That's what I did for a long period of time. But I stopped getting these crazy pumps that I used to get in the past. So I'm trying to start back over again and really try and focus on the mind-muscle connection, so that when I do go back to lifting heavy weights, it will still absolutely kill me. I feel like Dorian Yates lifting these weights here. It just feels so good. The contraction I'm getting is incredible. I'm blowing my back up. And in this back workout, I only did 9 sets for back and like 9 or 10 for biceps. Yes, I'm training my biceps a lot, but it's the muscle I really want to bring up. My back just got absolutely fried from 9 sets, which goes to show that if you do an exercise properly, if you do your sets properly, if you have proper rep quality, then regardless of how many sets you do, obviously like to a specific degree, you will see growth. You will see the breakdown of the muscle. You will feel soreness, and you will feel like you had an efficacious workout. And this is just an example of that. I didn't do 12, 15 sets for back. I did 9 sets. All of them were hard. And that's the reason my back is absolutely lit up. Third and final back exercise is this hammer strength unilateral exercise. So every exercise here was technically unilateral, just to balance out asymmetries in the physique. And plus, I just really like doing one at a time for back, because it lets me get the squeeze and like kind of crunch down on that one side. Whereas for a body part like chest, that's not really my main concern, because I'll feel chest anyways. But for back, I really want that squeeze and that stretch, so I want to do unilateral as much as I possibly can. And this workout being not one of the heavier ones, it's kind of makes sense just to go like this, and that's what I did. So you can see here, really getting the eccentric going, squeeze, stretch at the top. I've mentioned this 16 times in this video already. I'm not going to repeat myself. That is that. 9 sets for back. Before I do biceps, I'm actually going to do rear delts. Rear delts, highly neglected by most people. Train your rear delts. They're really important for posture. When you hit a side chest, it's your rear delt that shows the most of all 3 heads. Make sure you train your rear delts. I train them on back day. You can do them on shoulder day. You can do them on freaking calf day if you like. just train your rear delts. There was your daily reminder, 4 sets, and now biceps. So I could just go and get the dumbbells and start curling the dumbbells, but I'm at a new gym. Why would I get the dumbbells? Let's try out the machine they got here, because at my gym, they clearly don't have this machine. So I tried it out. Lo and behold, phenomenal machine. Absolutely blew the crap out of my biceps. Insane contraction, crazy squeeze, crazy stretch, slow eccentric. I mean, that's just what I'm doing now. Reduce injury risk. My biceps were feeling a little bit fatigued. Still train them. Sometimes you shouldn't train them. Sometimes you should push through the pain. It all depends on what you feel is right. Pretty simple bicep stuff there. You can notice my training is different from what it used to be. Squeeze and stretch, control the weight. I'm not going to go heavy on a machine exercise like this. Though the temptation's definitely there, especially being in a surplus, I'm not going to do that. If I'm doing dumbbell curls, it's a different story. Easy bar curls, different story. But a machine, slow and controlled is the way to go for me. 4 sets there, then I move on to dumbbell curls. And it got pretty crowded here, as you'll see in the final exercise. But 2 sets of dumbbell curls, I didn't feel like they were the most insane in terms of getting me a pump, but they worked. So I just went with them for 2 sets. But since they weren't like the best thing ever, I moved on because I really want to make every set and every rep count. So what do? I do cable curls. And if I had to pick one exercise that brought my biceps from where they were last year at this time to where they are this year at this time, it's definitely cable curls. There's just something about them, the contraction I always get when I do them. It's just absolutely just painfully good. You know, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's so pumped. There's so much lactic acid in that area. It feels really good. And if I was to recommend one bicep exercise, I'd probably say cable curls. You can do them with a rope, or you can do them with just a regular standard, whatever the grip is called, like the straight bar grip or the curly bar, whatever you want to call it. 4 sets here, total 10 sets for biceps, 9 sets for back. How come I did more sets for biceps than back? Because I'm trying to grow my biceps. I don't have the best arm genetics, so I'm trying to grow my biceps. Little posing video here. I kind of like the way the lighting is in this place. It's like this change room. It's actually nice. Like, it's not super crispy lighting. It's just like solid. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't overly show how shredded I am, even though I'm not. And it's not like completely washed out. It's just like good enough. Like, you can see in the quads, that is kind of what my quads usually look like in just regular daylight. There's no low exposure or anything. There's no darkness or lighting over my head just to get extra cuts and striations. It's just regular ass lighting. Thumbnails are going to look as crispy, but I don't want to get too over the top about my own physique. I know there's still a lot more to improve. Simple back and bicep day. I mean, there's nothing really to it but to do it, as Ronnie Coleman would say. Tomorrow, rest day, which is actually today, so it's the rest day. But then tomorrow's chest for me, so chest is going to be an absolute disaster for the pectoral muscles and an absolute adventure for me because I freaking love training chest. Anyways, that's it for the video. I gotta stop talking because I'm being stupid and repeating myself. Hope you liked the video and I hope you learned something. Reject mediocrity, embrace mastery, and I will see you for chest day.